Why am I checking my bloody assist? I'm not even racing.
I'm a fucking tired chap. Good race, lads. Good racing, please, lads. See you later, boys.
Enjoy.
Will do, thank you very much.
What is happening with this stream? Ah, there we go. What is happening with this? And a very warm welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We're here for the 7th round of the LMP2 League here at Motive on Project Cars 2 on the PlayStation 4 and 5. We've got 14 drivers out on the grid right now. We're here, as you may recognise, at the Temple of Speed, otherwise known as the Autodromo di Nazionale di Monza, or something like that, or otherwise known as Monza. And we are very excited to see what these LMP2s are getting up to around what is a very, very fast track with some of the most highest downforce but still pretty nifty and speedy cars here on this Project Cars 2 game. Quite easy to control if you've got the right setup, otherwise you'll find yourself a little bit unstuck in these, but nonetheless I'm sure it'll be some good racing. Hopefully these drivers have done practice beforehand and know what they're up against, because otherwise it will be a difficult night for those who haven't. But let's hope they've all done their homework before the start of this race. We've got Champ currently sat at the top of the leaderboard here. The championship battle, we believe, quite close between Champ and Richie in terms of the standings. Champ managed to open up a bit of a lead last time out at Zhuhai. We know that he's feeling pretty confident in the build up to tonight. He's labelled his own stream tonight time to make things comfortable in the standings, so he obviously feels that he's the man tonight to try and take the wins here in both the sprint and feature races. It's a 2-race format as usual, so we've got a sprint race of 15 minutes. Oh, we're just hearing an incident maybe between the Mutts Nuts and somebody else. Oh my goodness, coming out of De La Rocha chicane there. Don't know who that was with. I think that's there's an orange Ligier in the wall there coming out of De La Rocha, so I don't know who that was. We're trying to get eyes on. I think it was Simon Turner there that just had a bit of a collision with the Mutts Nuts. Hopefully they're able to get it going again and not too much damage to their sessions, but the Mutts Nuts puts it into the pits. In the meantime though, the top 3, Champ, Richie and Stage GT, are all in the pits. Stage GT third best at the moment. The top 2 in the championship are the top 2 in the leaderboard at the moment, so those two, Champ and Richie, once again locking horns, as we see them do, we've seen happen so often between those two throughout the time that they've been racing on Project Cars 2 here on PlayStation. These two old rivals, not just in LMP2s but also in an LMP1 league way back in the day, but I have to say both of them have improved quite considerably since those days, but especially Champ. I mean, he was quick then, he won that championship back then, but much better driver, much more complete now than he was then as well. We got Sebas coming up towards the line. What can he do? He's currently P4 and he stays in P4, but Xmart goes up into third there, displaces Stage GT there, pushes him down a position, so nice lap there from Xmart. JM Gruel's coming out of the parabolic, and let's see what he can do. He's currently 6th at the moment in this session. Foot to the floor as he comes up towards the line. Let's see what JM Gruel is able to put on the board here. Up towards the line he comes. 7 minutes left in the session, so just over halfway through. JM Gruel doesn't improve. That looks like it might have been an outlap there for him. So Champ, Richie, Xmart at the top 3. A lot of drivers who we expect to be up near the sharp end still yet to do a lap. We saw Beam Basher in the practice a few minutes ago do a 1:36, so we know that he can definitely get it up there at the sharp end. I won't say what his preparation has been for tonight, because that will probably raise a few alarm bells, so let's just gloss over that. But we've got Bite-sized DJ's currently coming out of the parabolic. Let's see what he can do. He's coming up towards the line. He's got a bit of a tow actually. Well, no, sorry, he's the driver providing the tow, should I say. As he crosses the line, he improves his lap time by a little bit, stays in P14 for the time being. He's got somebody looking to his inside here, not 100% who it is. We see Beam Basher there getting a little bit onto the curb, coming through Lesmo 1. This man here, former champion of the GTEs, current second place man in the GTEs, and in fact his rival for the GTE Championship this season is currently in second in this qualifying session. Richie in contention for 2 titles this season. He's the championship leader in the GTEs. He's also a big contender in this one, 2 champs to champ in this series. So Richie will be looking to put on a good performance tonight and also tomorrow for the GTEs. He's currently half a second off of Champ's fastest time right now, but you've got a lot of crossover here. I mean, there's lots of drivers who race in multiple series here on Project Cars in this LMP2 series. Champ, obviously, we said before, he's a veteran in these LMP2s, a former LMP1 champion at an old league called Rubbings Racing. Let's see what he can do. Can he improve? No, that's an outlap there for Champ. But Champ always goes strong in these cars. He's also been very, very strong in the Clios and the GT5s as well on this game, so he's got a all-round pedigree here on this game. We got Richie is a former GT3 champion here at Motive and has raced in the GTs, as we said, the GTE Championship leader, former LMP2 champion as well. He's got definitely the credentials. Xmart, former touring car champion here at Motive, actually came out on top of yours truly in the commentary box. He managed to win that championship. I think it was season 6 of the touring cars. It must have been managed to come out on top in a very, very hotly contested touring car championship. I've got to say, some of the fastest touring car drivers on PlayStation in that league and he was the most consistent driver out of everybody throughout that season and managed to come out on top and, as I say, take the championship. So he's a proven champion here. Smoky Devil currently in P4. He's just coming up towards the parabolic. Got Nicky out at the moment, the founder of Team Prolapse. Let's actually ride with Nicky here as he's coming through the parabolic. Let's see what he can put on the board here as he gets out onto the start-finish straight. Looks like he got a good run there. He's got his foot flat down on the accelerator up towards the line. He's got not much fuel in, so this is going to be the end of his run that he's currently on. Currently P5 though for Nicky. Can he improve? He does. Look at that. Lovely lap from Nicky up into P3 here in this session. Pushes his teammate Xmart down there to 4th place. So very impressive stuff there from Nicky. As we're watching Xmart coming down towards the parabolica. Let's see if he can respond to Nicky's pace there. These two currently best of the rest with the two title contenders currently showing the way. JM Gruel's just gone up into P3 there, so he pushes Nicky and Xmart down a position each. Xmart though coming out of the parabolica now. The time's coming in thick and fast here as we're approaching the closing stages of this qualifying session. As here comes Xmart up towards the line. What can he do here? This will be his one of his last runs here in the session. Flashed the lights there as he didn't improve on that lap time. He's just got some traffic here coming into the first chicane, so hopefully they see him and are able to move to the side. As Xmart just gets out of the first chicane there. That's CMC, I believe, just up ahead, is it? Or it might not be actually. No, he's behind those two. I think that was... Oh, it was Beam Basher there, I think, just ahead of Xmart, but he's let him past. Oh no, it's Bite Size DJ even. Bite Size DJ, I do apologise. Bite Size DJ just ahead of Xmart, did let him through. But right now, Champ's still leading the way. He's got a bit of a slipstream here actually as he's coming under the old circuit up towards Ascari. That will benefit him massively if he can, as long as he doesn't get too much too much turbulent air on the front of that car, doesn't lose too much front end grip. He should be able to really benefit from a tow here. As he's, I think that's Simon Turner just ahead of him. Simon Turner wide though, and gets all over the place there coming out of Ascari. No, it's not Simon. It's someone with the same livery as Simon. It's not Simon. This is confusing. Right, Champ up towards the parabolica. Provisional pole sitter, championship leader, looking to try and extend his gap at the top of the standings if he can tonight. As he gets onto the power out of the parabolica now, he's got enough fuel to do one more lap after this one, so he'll get another bite at it. Oh, really skimming the pit wall there, trying to shave every little bit of time off that he can. Up towards the line he comes, and he is 700ths of a second off of his personal best, which is the provisional pole time. So he's done 2 laps in this session that are good enough for pole position, showing that Champ has got some very, very solid consistency tonight, and he is the fastest man out there. Grandad C in the meantime has gone up into 3rd place. He's coming up towards the parabolica now. He's managed to push Jay Gruel, Nicky and down a position. Simon Turner split the 2 Team Prolapse cars, so Simon Turner into P6 in between Nicky and Xmart. Grandad Stee out of the parabolica has got lots of fuel in his car, so that bodes well for Grandad Stee. He'll definitely be prepared once we get him for the race. He'll know exactly how the car's going to be handling straight out of the blocks. Up towards the line, Grandad Stee comes and he improves his lap very fractionally there by 5,000ths of a second. Pardon me, that was a hiccup. But yeah, very, very marginal improvement there for Grandad Stee. Up stays in 3rd place obviously, but he's riding heavy fuel in this session, so that will be advantageous to him once we get off the line for sure. Champ running very low fuel, as is Richie, so these two running the absolute bare minimum that they can get away with in order to get the fastest laps possible with a very light car. And it's currently Champ leading away from Richie. Richie 0.6 of a second off of his personal best on that previous lap. And Bite Size DJ's off the track. He's just run wide there coming out of Lesmo 1, and be careful here mate, because you've got some cars behind you. Looks like Simon Turner there. No, it's not Simon, it's the other orange car. The other orange car. Stage GT, that's it. Simon's coming up towards the line though. Good that we clicked on him as he's coming up towards the start finish. Doesn't improve there. Stays in P6 as Champ's gone faster. Look at that. He's improved his time there to a 1:35.1. He's now 0.7 of a second clear of Richie at the top of the leaderboard. JM Gruel has just leapfrogged Grandad Stee up into 3rd place. So a nice lap there from JM Gruel. But Champ looking in ominous form tonight. And I said earlier on, he'll be looking to try and extend that gap in the championship. He's running his own stream tonight, and the stream title just says it all, the confidence that he's got going into tonight. But he's currently your man to beat. Richie's coming through Ascari, and this is going to be Richie's last run of the session here. He's not going to get another bite of the cherry, so he's really got to deliver the goods now. He is 2/10 up on his middle sector fastest time. He's doing green sector times, but not purple. Champ is the current holder of the purple sector times. Can Richie find a bit of time here coming through Parabolica and get the good exit out onto the start finish? If he can, he might find himself a little bit close to Champ's fastest time. Out of the last corner and up towards start finish. I know Richie pits. Richie's coming into the pit, so he must have messed up the parabolic there. I didn't really notice from trackside view, but obviously he was inside the car. He knows how he got on through that corner, and he must have had a bit of a mare coming through the mid part of the corner. So that's Richie done. Beanbasher and Bite Size DJ, the last drivers out on the track. I think Beanbasher's taking it a little bit easier coming through Ascara. I don't know if he's still on a flying lap, we'll see. But Beanbasher not replicating the form that we saw in the practice session. He's coming down in P12. Can he find a little bit of time here as he's coming down towards the Parabolica? Bite Size DJ pits, so he's not going to improve. Let's stay with Beanbasher as he gets very wide there onto the grass, coming into the Parabolica. Gets onto the power now, and he's just invalidated his lap time there according to the race control. So that is going to be that then, I think, as he comes up towards the line. Beanbasher will be the last to finish the qualifying session, but it is going to be Champ lining up on pole. Gets the pole by 7/10 of a second ahead of Richie. JM Gruhl will be on the second row of the grid with Grandad Steele alongside him. Then it's going to be Nicky in 5th with Simon Turner 6th, X-Mart 7th, followed by Sebas in 8th, Smokey Devil and Stage GT completing the top 10. And it's going to be CMC in 11th, Beanbasher 12th, the Mutts Nuts in P13. Bite Size DJ rounds out the field. DJ Phil not in the lobby. Hopefully he'll be getting in for the feature race. Hopefully we'll see him out on track. So we should hopefully have a full 15 car grid for the feature. Yeah, I think that it's going to be this is obviously the most dangerous turn 1 of the season. Full damage on, guys. All I say is just please be respectful to each other, be courteous to those around you, be aware of the space. You know, some of us do use cockpit view. If you haven't already, get those proximity arrows on if you're on cockpit view, because you need them definitely. Yeah, let's just hope that everybody keeps it clean, keeps it tidy. 14 cars going into turn 1 and 2 at Monza. Everybody here is clean, we know that. Nobody here is, you know, a sketchy driver. Everybody here I trust to the fullest, but you know, accidents do happen, so everybody just be careful, just be aware of what's going on around you. But it's going to be Champ and Richie, the 2 championship contenders, lining up on the front row. Richie tends to be a little bit off of Champ's pace in qualifying, but where Richie excels is the races. He's very consistent and is good at chipping away at Champ throughout the course of the race. We know that Champ isn't immune to a couple of mistakes here and there. We've seen over the course of Zhuhai last week, despite the fact he took the double win, you know, he made a couple of mistakes here and there, but to be fair to him, you know, despite having an absolute shocker of a round by his standards, he still got the double win, which was pretty ominous to anybody who's hoping to beat him this season. But nonetheless, I'm sure Richie's going to be up to the challenge tonight. Monza's a track that I know that Richie likes. I've raced with him in the GT3s around this track many times, and he's got some solid pace around here, so he'll be a force to be reckoned with. JM Gruhl on the second row. Grandad Stee doing a good job. Grandad Stee, one of the championship contenders in the touring cars, managed to take the double win last night at Silverstone National in the touring cars. So Grandad Stee's all-round great racer here on Project Cars 2, and I'm sure he'll be looking to try and chip away at those 2 championship contenders. He's got nothing to lose in these LMP2s. He's reserved for this series, although having said that, he might be a regular now. But yeah, he's got very little to lose as he's not in the championship battle. But here we go then, lights are on and it's lights out and away we go. And Champ doesn't get a good start there, gets very bogged down. Richie straight up into the lead. JM Gruhl's going to follow him through here as we got a cut of about 3 wide in the background, as we got either Stage GT or Simon Turner there on the inside. That's Stage GT in the end, backs out of that as the car is filing through turn 1 and 2, and that looks to me to be one of the cleanest first turn 1s at Monza I've ever seen in the LMP2s. All 14 cars through turn 1 and 2, absolutely fine. Great stuff there as Richie leads us. JM Gruhl in second place, Champ losing a couple of positions down to third place. There's Sebas, and we've got 3 wide in the background almost as Grandad Stee's trying to hold on ahead of the Mutts Nuts. Simon Turner losing out to Nicky there, down to 8th place. Nicky's got that move done, and Nicky's up the inside of the Mutts Nuts. Oh, we see a bit of a collision there as that's X-Mart involved in that incident there. Also, I think CMC Beanbasher was caught up in that as we see Grandad Stee down to the back. Oh no, what a shame for Grandad Stee from the second row in qualifying. Nicky down to P13. The Mutts Nuts did get caught up a little bit in that one, so a few drivers caught up in that Della Rocha chicane there. Richie leads out of JM Gruhl. Champ still in third place behind Richie and JM Gruhl. Sebas there in fourth place. Stage GT a long way back to him. These these guys have really fallen off the back now. Stage GT, Smoky Devil, Bite Size DJ has got Xmart looking down his outside as Xmart makes the move. Oh, Bite Size DJ outbrakes himself, but manages to get it stopped in time, and Xmart's now going to be overtaken by CMC here. CMC sneaks up the inside. Wow, incredible racing there, but Bite Size DJ a little bit aggressive on the brakes, and Xmart had to take evasive action there. Went a little bit wide into the first part of Ascari, and as a result lost out to CMC. The Mutsnuts also capitalising as Xmart's now down the inside of the Mutsnuts into the Parabolica and gets himself up into P7 there, onto the back of CMC. The Mutsnuts is going to try and get a run in. Oh no! Oh no, Bite Size DJ flying through Parabolica there, and that looked like there was a bit of contact there with Nicky. Nicky's waiting up for him, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure what's happened there. Beam Basher though is into the pits at the end of the first lap. No mandatory pit stop in this sprint race, but he's coming in anyway. So is Simon Turner. So clearly damage on those cars that those guys have got to fix. Bite Size DJ is in, no surprise there. Is Grandad Steve going to come in and get his damage repaired? He is. So 4 drivers in the pits at the end of the opening lap. Not the start that any of those guys would have needed in any way, shape or form. JM Gruhl has had a nightmare at the start of this lap. He's down to 9th place. I didn't see what happened there to JM Gruhl. He was running in 2nd place behind Richie. Champ's got himself up into P2 and is now on the back of Richie. These two starting to break away a little bit. The 2 title contenders, showing everybody how it's done at the moment. Sebastien in 3rd, Stage GT and Smoky Devil running in P4 and 5, coming through the Lesmos. You've got Xmart there in the background in 6th place, has managed to pull a bit of a gap at the moment to CMC. JM Gruhl in the background there, coming through Lesmo 1 in 8th place. He's got a couple of seconds back to the Mutsnuts, who goes a little bit wide there, coming through Lesmo 1. Nicky there in 10th place, and Simon Turner down on 11th has just exited the pits.
Come on lads, clean the racing mate, fucking hell.
Beam Basher there over the team radio, not very happy with some of the driving standards. Hopefully there'll be a couple of stewards inquiries and we can get those sorted out, but clearly a bit of carnage there on that opening lap here at Monza. But it's Richie leading by 3/10 ahead of Champ. Bit of a gap back to Sebas, Stage GT, Smoky Devil. These two, Stage GT and Smoky Devil, not running too far apart at the moment, but we're going to go to the lead battle here because Richie has got Champ right up his chuff here as they're coming down the start-finish straight. Champ said in the build-up to this he was looking to try and extend his gap in the championship. Richie knows this is a golden opportunity for him to close that gap. It's a track that Richie likes. I've raced with him many times around here. Monza is a strong track for him. Champ's going to have to be on his A game here to find a way around Richie, as Richie's a very good defender around here as well. I've been stuck behind him in the GT3s many a time around this track, and he doesn't make many mistakes around here either. So Champ's going to have to really put him under pressure if he wants to win this sprint race. This sprint race only 9 laps. It's pretty much over as quickly as it starts, so you've got to be on it from the word go. These two currently putting away a little bit from Sebas there as they're coming through the De La Rocha chicane. Goes a little bit deep there to Sebas. He's got a couple of seconds back to this man, Stage GT. Smokey has dropped behind Stage GT, so Stage GT is up into 4th place. Oh no, Smokey's lost it. Smokey's round on the exit of the De La Rocha chicane. Yellow flag through there. Oh no! And there's a lap car who's lost it behind them. Bite Size DJ also loses it at the same time. Probably sympathetic spinning there in response to Smoky Devil. Xmart gets himself up into 5th place. Richie has got Champ looking all over him coming up towards Ascari. Although Richie just covering that off that inside line, and Champ is going to have to look around the long way. Can't get it done. Oh no, Champ's lost it! Champ's bending into the wall coming through Ascari. Yellow flag through Ascari. Be careful guys as Champ just gets it going again. But that's allowed Stage GT and Sebas onto the podium, and is Champ going to have damage after that? Oh my goodness me, Richie up into the lead of the race. Champ has damage there. He says on the team radio he has got a bit of damage on the steering column, so he might have to come into the pits. Maybe he's just going to brave it out and stick with it. I'm sure he probably, if he can stick with it, he will, because it's going to cost him a lot of time if he does come in. No mandatory pit stop here, so there's no saving grace if you come in and get damage repaired. But Champ down to 4th place, and that's going to give Richie a big impetus here in the point standings right now. He's going to be licking his chops right now and absolutely going for this one, because he's now got quite a substantial lead and it's in the box seat here to close the gap in the championship, maybe even take the championship lead, who knows. I don't actually know what the standings are. I haven't updated it since the last round, I don't think, unless I did it and forgot. But right now Champ has got Xmart pressuring him here, and also JM Gruhl's got CMC and the Mutsnuts pretty close as well. These guys running 7th, 8th and 9th. In fact, the Mutsnuts has dropped off of them a little bit, but JM Gruhl down in P7 has made up a couple of positions since dropping down to 9th place at the beginning of lap 2. He obviously made a very good start and was in 2nd place, splitting Richie and Champ in the early stages, but it's all gone wrong since then for him. But looking down the order, we've got Simon Turner, Grandad Steve, Beam Basher and Bite Size DJ. Those 4 all got caught up in some incidents on the first lap. Simon Turner got away the lightest with that one. Grandad Steve and Beam Basher separated by not very much at the moment. Damage limitation for these guys in this race. Richie though leading by 5 seconds coming out of Ascari up towards the Parabolica for the 4th time in this race, and he's looking very comfortable at the moment. Stage GT driving an absolutely fantastic race at the moment in 2nd place, has got Sebas 2.5 seconds behind him, but really great stuff for Stage GT. Beam Basher out of the race here on lap 4 in the sprint, so what a shame there for Beam Basher. He will take no further part in this one. Hopefully we'll get him back in for the feature, but I have a feeling he might be a little bit worse for wear at this point. We've got Champs still just ahead of X-Mart right now as they're coming through the Parabolica. Smoky Devil there in the background coming through in P6 has got JM Gruel and the Mutsnuts in hot pursuit, as the Mutsnuts looking pretty close actually on him now, and CMC has dropped behind both of them there. So CMC now down in 9th place. Don't know what happened to him, but he must have made a mistake coming through the middle sector. Smokey still sat in that P6. JM Gruel in the slipstream. There's a 4-car train here. They're all picking up a toe off each other, coming up in towards in towards that first chicane. Oh no, JM Gruel hesitant there, and the Mutsnuts helps him round. Oh, I tell you what, I don't think the Mutsnuts did a whole lot wrong there, to be fair. JM Gruel really did slow it down mid-corner, and the Mutsnuts nowhere to go. To me anyway, I think that was not really the Mutsnuts' fault. I think JM Gruel started to lose it, and Mutsnuts just helped him finish the job. Nicky's into the pits, so Nicky must have some damage on that car. He's getting that repaired, but to me, I don't think the Mutsnuts did a whole lot wrong there. He might have a bit of damage on the front. Hopefully he doesn't. He's a couple of seconds behind Smokey running in P6. There's CMC on the back of... Oh, the Mutsnuts wide coming through. There's my one. Does he get it back on the track? He just about gets it back there before CMC was able to swoop up the inside. So the Mutsnuts holds on to P7 there. X-Mart in the meantime has got ahead of Champ up into 4th place. So Champ down to P5 in this race. Not been the night for Champ in any way, shape or form. Had a bit of a hectic start to the race. Dropped down to P3 off the line after getting very bogged down as we went green. And then obviously got P2 back when JM Gruel had his moment, but had that big mistake coming through Ascari at the end of lap 3, which dropped him down to 4th place at the time. Since then, the damage on the front end of that car has really impeded him, and X-Mart's found a way through and has actually pulled out a bit of a gap to him since getting ahead. X-Mart himself did have a bit of a shaky start to the race, got caught up in a bit of an incident coming into the De La Rocha chicane on lap 1, so he's not been any stranger to a few mishaps so far, but he's currently recovered it very nicely, as he did at Zhuhai last week. To be fair, he gets it, you know, he gets the bad luck, but then he definitely recovers it pretty nicely. As we see here, CMC's down the inside of the Mutsnuts into turn 1. Nice move there from CMC. Good clean racing. Oh no, he gets a little bit over to the curb there, and it's wide onto the gravel. CMC, I thought it pulled off a really good move there. The Mutsnuts did tag him a little bit in the back as they were coming through turn 2, but to be fair, CMC had started to lose it on the curb just before that, so I wouldn't say the Mutsnuts is too much at fault there. He seems to the Mutsnuts seems to have everybody losing it in front of him at the moment, but Champ has got Smoky Devil on the back of him. Smoky looking to try and gain another position here. Champ, as we say with the damage earlier on, really starting to struggle a little bit, but he's still in a good points paying position, and he knows he just needs to minimise the points gained by Richie. Richie's going to gain points on him in this sprint race, we know that for sure. That's the foregone conclusion. Now it's about keeping that to an absolute minimum, and Champ will be looking to try and damage limitation here in this race. Richie still leads. He's continuing to pull out the gap ever so slightly to Stage GT. Fastest man out on track at the moment is the race leader, Richie, but Stage GT almost matching him on the last lap. Let's see what Richie does this time around. 37.2 on the previous lap. This time around he does a 38 dead. What about Stage GT? Let's see what Stage GT's up to in terms of the lap times. 37.5 on the previous lap, 38.3 this time around. So Richie 3/10 quicker than the man running behind him in 2nd place. Sebas there comes over a 38.7 from him. X-Mart seems to be going pretty quickly now. He's in clean air. Let's see what he's doing. He comes over the line and he's the fastest man that time around, a 10th quicker than the race leader. So X-Mart really blazing a trail at the moment, but obviously with that first lap, mayhem is a little way off for the leader, 17 seconds behind Richie at the moment. Champ there in 5th has got Smoky Devil breathing down his neck. We saw Champ really weaving around there, coming down the start finish straight as he's trying to keep out of that toe. Smoky Devil seems to have the straight line speed. Champ seems still decent through the corners. He's making up for that. He's compensating for the car's inefficiency. He's obviously having to work pretty hard in that cockpit, but he's got Smokey now really breathing down his neck. But Champ's so quick through that part of the track. He seems really quick through the corners. He's overcompensating for that car's defects right now, and he's absolutely flying through these parts of the track. You can see how much he's having to counter the steering, but he's doing it really nicely. But the slightest little slip, and that's all it's going to take for Champ to effectively, just all his hard work here that he's doing is going to be undone. Smokey's very much on his rear end, and Champ just needs to keep his cool for the next 2 and a bit laps of this race. Richie's about to start his penultimate lap. He's just coming up on some traffic here. That looks like it's Nicky there in the foreground, just coming through your shot in P12. So Richie will be getting up in some clean air hopefully in a moment's time. But what a race it's been from Richie, really. Flawless since the beginning. He held off Champ. Champ made a mistake, obviously down to the pressure that Richie was forcing the pace out the front, and Richie fastest up at the race there, 37 dead last time around, 2 seconds quicker than Stage GT. Sebas a 38.4. What about Xmart? What's he doing? He's dropped about a second over the course of this lap to Richie, a 38.3 from Xmart, still quicker than Stage GT. And Sebas, Champ on the last lap, did a 40.4, and Smokey's got ahead of Champ down the start finish straight. So Smokey Devil up into 5th place, Champ down to 6th. Champ will still score 20 points for his troubles here, as opposed to Richie scoring 35. So Richie will close the gap by 15 points, and it could be the championship lead for Richie. I'm not sure. Standing's not up to date at the moment. I know it's pretty close. I think it's something like 10 or 15 points in it between them. So I would say that Richie may be tied, if not possibly just behind or just ahead. I don't know, give or take. They could be tied at the moment, but yeah, Richie currently doing the business. Champ there down to P6, just needs to keep himself going here. He's got a 4-second gap back to the Mutsnuts, so he can very easily bring this home in 6th place, barring any major catastrophes in the final lap and a half of this race. There's the Mutsnuts. CMC still running in 8th place just behind him, still trying to put him under a bit of pressure if he can. JM Gruhl still going in 9th place. You got Simon Turner has recovered it into P10 since that first lap, the mayhem that we saw. Grandad Steve in 11th place with Nicky there in 12th. Bite Size DJ still going in 13th place at the moment, but Richie here is starting his final lap of the race. A 37.1 from Richie. He's absolutely on it here, has not let up at all. He's been putting in the fastest lap times lap after lap after lap. Purple sectors, and only a 10th off of his best there, as we see Stage GT coming over. A 38.1 from him. Sebas there a 39.5. Didn't have the best of laps on the last time around for Sebas. Xmart has dropped off a little bit on this lap. He's done a 141 there, so Xmart must have made a bit of a mistake there. Smokey 38.9, got ahead of Champ at the beginning of this lap. He's already pulled out a second or so. Champ a 40.1. The Mutsnuts was half a second quicker than Champ, but Champ has got that gap at the moment, so he should be okay. And CMC a 38.6 gives him a bit of a tap in the rear there, and the Mutsnuts, his rear wing has come off. Oh no, he's lost it coming out of the first chicane. What a shame there. CMC gave him a bit of a tap in the rear. It looked very innocuous, to be honest with you. It didn't seem like much, but the contact has knocked the rear wing off of that Ligier. What is going on there? As the Mutsnuts is now going to be a sitting duck for JM Gruhl. JM Gruhl cruises past him up into 8th place. What a shame there. That looked like it was nothing doing here. It looked like hardly anything. CMC gave him a little tap coming into the braking zone, and the rear wing just went flying off. So the Mutsnuts is going to have to limp round in 9th place on this final lap of the race. In the meantime, though, let's cut to the race leader, Richie, because he's coming out of the Parabolica for the final time, and it's going to be a sprint race win here for Richie. He's going to close the gap to Champ. Possibly it could be the championship lead, but if not, it's going to really make it pretty tight at the top of that leaderboard. A flash of lights from the race winner here. What a drive from Richie. Congratulations tonight on that sprint race win. He'll be looking to try and follow that up with a win in the feature race as well. Great job from Richie at a track that I know he loves. Stage GT up towards the line. It's going to take a P2. A really strong result there for Stage. Solid job there. Sebas spins it over the line. I think he just about got over the line as he was binning it there. So 3rd place there for Sebas. Xmart comes over to take a 4th place. A solid result there for him, and got some good points there in the championship. Smokey Devil comes over to take a P5. Champ in the end a P6. Not the result he would have been hoping for, but nonetheless, damage limitation could have been a lot worse. CMC comes over to take 7th place. Got the move ahead of the Mutsnuts on that last lap. It looked like a very minimal contact, to be fair. I'm surprised that rear wing came off as easy as it did. Again, the game...
I didn't even have any front damage.
Yeah, it looked like nothing, to be honest, mate. I think that's a defect on the game there.
I was on the brakes as hard as I could get.
It was nothing. It was nothing, man. Honestly, like that rear wing must be a Mercedes rear wing. I've got to say, you know, because for it to come off that easily, it must be a Mercedes one.
Andy, who's bite-sized DJ fucking about before the final line? What I'm talking about? Who is it?
Bite-sized. He's a reserve. What happened?
Bite-sized, do me a favour, don't spin before the line. Do something else. Yeah? Come on.
There's some questionable driving in now.
What happened on that first lap?
Exactly.
I struggled round. I did try with full damage, but I had a pit in the end.
What happened on the first lap? I saw there's an incident coming into the second chicane. I was looking up front, and I just saw everything going off in the background.
That weren't too bad. I got away with that. I don't know who it was, with some parabolic come out, parabolic car.
Yeah,
straight in front of me.
bite size lost it. End of the first lap.
Oh man. My car was drivable, but yeah, it just wasn't quick. I just lost so much downforce.
That first lap was fucking carnage.
It was,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
just everybody take it easy on the first lap, right? A few laps to go, right? So you've plenty of time to make your fucking moves, right? So just chill.
Alright guys, well we've had one race warm up, so now this one, no excuses, boys.
Yeah. Sweet.
Just mind you, keep giving people lots of space and let them settle into the race.
Absolutely.
Good luck, everybody. Yeah, good luck.
Welcome back to Motive, everybody. We're here for the second qualifying session of the evening, as it looks as though Champ has taken a very resounding pole position, looking to try and make up for his woes in the sprint race. X-Mart's got himself into P2 there right at the end of the session. Can Richie respond and get himself back on the front row alongside his championship rival up to the line? Richie comes to finish his lap, and he doesn't, he stays in P3. So it looks as though Champ is going to take pole by quite some way as well. A second and a half is his gap to X-Mart. Sebas is on a lap here. Looks like everybody else in the top 10 barring CMC and Sebas are done. CMC crosses the line and he goes 9th, pushes Stage GT down a position. So nice lap there from CMC. So Sebas and Bite Size DJ, the last drivers currently on a lap, as we can see here. Big flashing job going on here. That sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? from Sebas to Bite Size DJ. But Bite Size DJ is going to give Sebas a nice tow here coming out of the parabolica. Let's see if he can get a good run. Might be able to get a bit of a slipstream, which might give him a bit of overspeed up towards the line. Here comes Sebas. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the line, and he stays in P4. Doesn't improve, unfortunately, for him. So that is going to be that then for the second qualifying session here for the LMP2s at Motive, round 7 here at Monza. Champ taking pole ahead of X-Mart, Richie in 3rd, Sebas 4th. So Richie, after taking some points out of the championship leader Champ, is going to have to do this one the hard way from P3, but if he can get a start like he did in the sprint race, he'll set himself up nicely. Champ looking to try and make amends. Let's see if he can do it. Yeah, mandatory pit stop as well. I've got a shoot off after this. I should probably put a shell. Here we are then, guys. The cars lined up on the grid, ready to go for the feature race of the evening. Big shout out to Raki and Scooter Paul, two of the biggest fans here at Motive, commenting earlier on in the stream. Sorry boys that I neglected you there. If anybody's still watching this, if you're not one of the drivers, if you are watching this live and you're watching one of your friends or your family out on track, let us know who you're rooting for, as the lights are coming on now here ahead of the grid. It's Champ on pole ahead of X-Mart, Richie behind. X-Mart splitting the two championship contenders, and it's lights out and away we go. And that was another bad start there from Champ, but Richie gets a poor one as well. And now we see Sebas there down the inside into the lead, maybe up towards turn 1. X-Mart leads, but Sebas on the inside just has to get out of it a little bit. Oh, X-Mart overshoots his braking marker and goes straight on at the chicane. I think he might be forced to give a couple of positions back there. Champ also cuts the chicane onto the run. Oh no, the two championship contenders come together. Oh my goodness, and that's Richie there, gets tagged in the back and he's missing his rear wing. Champ goes straight on there, absolute carnage. X-Mart gets through relatively unscathed without too much damage on his car. CMC's through, Nicky gets through as well. Simon Turner, Stage GT, Bite Size DJ has got caught up, and Smokey Devil and JM Grill massively compromised here. Smokey Devil and JM Grill down to the back. We've lost Grandad Steve from the race. We're down to 11 runners here. Sebas leads ahead of Champ. Richie though, what a shame. Richie down in 3rd place with no rear wing. Luckily for him, there's a mandatory pistol. Oh no! As X-Mart, it's not X-Mart that got involved in that. That was, oh my god, somebody on their roof there. It was X-Mart. X-Mart there on his roof without a rear wing. CMC and X-Mart get caught up on the exit of Lesmo too.
Richie just drove it straight off the track, man.
We're in team radio there. Richie apparently was the catalyst of that with his rear wing, trying to limp round to the pits, trying to minimise his time lost there. What an unfortunate situation there for Richie, obviously in his championship battle, but more so also the drivers there who got caught up in those incidents. Richie's going to have to bring it in here. He's 11 seconds behind, but CMC and X-Mart could not have gone much worse for those guys. Luckily for these drivers, there is a mandatory pit stop here, so they can come in, get that damage repaired, and just focus on the rest of their races. But not the ideal start for any of these guys. They'll have to spend a bit of time in the pit box there to obviously get those damages repaired. But Champ leading ahead of Sebas right now. The gap 1.4 between those two. Richie in the pits to get that damage repaired here. That could not have gone much worse, that opening lap. That was carnage left, right and centre there. Typical Monza first lap, really, that was. Surprised that we got off so lightly first corner in the first race, but we made up for it in the second corner. And then this race has just been carnage. Very typical of a Monza first lap, especially in the LMP2s. But what can you say? It's a shame. And half the field in the pits. Nicky managed to get through that into 5th place. He's on the back of Stage GT now. Bite Size, DJ, X-Mart, CMC, Richie all in. Smokey's already... No, Smokey's not been in yet. He's not even got around the end of the first lap yet. What a disaster for Smokey Devil as he's coming out of the Parabolica, and we'll be coming into the pits pretty shortly. We've lost 2 drivers from the race. Surprising that it's not more than that, but to the 10 guys out on track, big shout out to all of you. And you'll obviously get rewarded with a good handful of points at the end of this one for sure. Every single one of you is going to get some solid points. Champ though leads by almost 3 seconds ahead of Sebas. Auto Butcher says, is this the new Wreckfest update? No, man. I don't know. Stage GT here in 4th place has got Nicky on the back of him right now as these two coming down the start-finish straight. Oh, man. Nicky's can't get ahead of Stage GT right now. Stage GT had a very strong race in the sprint race. But feature race, the qualifying session kind of set him back a bit, and then the start of the race hasn't really gone to plan either. Nicky's pretty close, looking to try and gain a position if he can. Nicky managed to get through the carnage without too much damage on the car, so he's currently in a good position right now. But he is 13 seconds off of the race of the champ. He'll be looking to try and ride off into the sunset with this one if he can. The big thing now obviously is with Richie in P6, that's where Champ finished in the first race. So as it stands, they've matched each other again for points, so pretty crucial really that Richie managed to take that win in the first race. But Champ puts a lap on somebody there. I believe that was Bite Size DJ, who changed his livery in between sessions just to confuse us majorly. But yeah, he's running around in 7th place there, so everybody up to P7 has been lapped by the leader. And Richie in danger of being lapped by his championship rival here in P6. Smokey Devil stood in the pits. He's just emerging now, so that's been a pretty hefty stop there for him. But he's off and on his way once again. Really the only battle going on right now is Stage GT and Nicky. These guys dropping off for the leader a bit. Those two lapping in the 139s. That was a hiccup. But not the start to the feature race that we wanted to see. We were hoping it would be a step in the right direction and that everybody would use that running that they got in the first race and be like, right, now we've had our warm up, now's the time to shine. But no, unfortunately not. So maybe Monza with full damage in the LMP2s wasn't the way to go. Yeah, Bathurst probably was also a bit of an oversight. Nevertheless, what's done is done. But Stage GT running in just ahead of Nicky. Nicky's managed to put a bit of a gap to Nicky over the course of this lap so far. So Stage GT just starting to release himself into a bit of clean air. Oh, Nicky wide out. Let's move. Oh my goodness me! Great save from Nicky there. He got all sorts of out of shape there on the exit of the corner, but managed to save it before it all went Pete Tong. Very well held there indeed from Nicky. Looks as though Xmart's closing in on bite-sized DJ for P7. And then we're looking to dispatch bite-sized DJ as quickly as he can. But really, Richie, bite-sized DJ, Xmart, CMC, Smokey are just driving around for points at this stage in the race. But nevertheless, these are fun cars to drive, so there's every reason to stay out there. Actually, I do really enjoy driving these cars. It's quite therapeutic actually driving these LMP2s. Oh, beat up bite-sized DJ trying to defend to the inside, but Xmart goes for the gap. Very nicely done there from Xmart. Manages to get it stopped in time despite taking quite a tight line into the corner, and that is Xmart up into P7. Bite-sized DJ tried his best to defend it, couldn't hold on, and nice move from Xmart. Flash the lights there from bite-sized DJ, saying fair play there, mate. Good move. Nicky in the pits. End of lap 5 for him, or end of lap 4 even for him, and he's off on his way. We'll come out miles ahead of Richie and Xmart and bite-sized DJ and CMC and Smoky Devil, with those guys having to undergo major damage repairs in the opening stages of the race. Nicky, obviously the first of the front runners, so to speak, to come into the pits. It's going to be interesting to see if he can get the jump on Stage GT. Simon Turner only 5 seconds up the road from those two in terms of a net position, with Nicky obviously as he's come into the pits now, so he's a lot more than 5 seconds behind him. But in terms of a net position, he's about 5 seconds behind Simon Turner, so Stage GT and Nicky could easily bring themselves into that battle if Simon were to make a mistake, or if they were to just get the hammer down and start outpacing him. Oh no! Someone in the foreground there losing the car, coming through Ascari. I think that's bite-sized DJ there. We just heard an exclamation from bite-sized DJ as he gets it back onto the track, but he's going to lose out to another one of the leaders here. Stage GT there makes his way through. Flash the lights there from Stage GT, says thank you very much. And that is such a cool shot there. Why do Project Cars 2 only do that shot like when it's like a glitch? Why can't they do that shot all the time? That lovely aerial shot where you just sort of jump in the helicopter for a second and you see the cars going up towards Parabolica. That shot never happens ordinarily. You can never get that shot, and it always happens by accident. It's such a shame. It looks absolutely brilliant as we see Stage GT into the pits now. So he's going to try and cover off Nicky here, but did Nicky get the pit stop glitch? If he did, then it might be quite hard for Stage GT to cover him here. Stage GT in the box. Looks like that's a pretty bog standard pit stop there for Stage GT. I reckon that's probably a standard 5.6, maybe a 6.7, don't know, one of the two. Nicky though out of the Parabolica. Stage is just coming out of the pits now, so I think, oh, it's going to be close, you know. It's going to be very close. The top speed that you get down the straight means you make a lot of time up on the guys who are exiting the pits, but I think Stage is going to hold on here ahead of Nicky up in towards turn 1. Yes, he does. He's got about 2-3 seconds on him here, so Stage manages to actually get a major jump there on Nicky, and now we wait to see what Simon Turner does in the pit stops to see how that podium battle develops. But Champ's got almost a 10-second gap over Sebas, but Sebas driving a very good race here in P2. But the race just kind of settling down a little bit now. Not really a whole lot going on. As we see Simon Turner here coming in at the end of lap 6, so he's making his pit stop now. Now we're going to find out whether or not Stage GT's managed to close the gap at all. Maybe he's going to jump him, who knows. He was only 5 seconds behind. See what sort of top pit stop Simon Turner gets. He gets a good one, I think. I think that was pretty much in and out there from Simon Turner. Oh, he's going to be in acres. He's miles ahead. He's in another postcode there from Stage GT, so Simon Turner absolutely smashes that in the pit stops there. Stage GT's just coming up to lap CMC. So Simon Turner comes out almost 10 seconds ahead of Stage GT. And Nicky a couple of seconds behind Stage GT, can still give Stage GT a bit of a headache from there. I'm sure that Nicky's going to be pushing him for that 4th place. Half distance here in the feature race, mandatory pit stop for this one. 10 of you still out on track. Champ, Sevas, Simon Turner, Stage GT, Nicky, Richie, Xmark, Bite Size, DJ, CMC, Smoky Devil, absolute legends, all of you. Thank you very much for sticking with it, boys. Had a bit of carnage on the opening lap, lost a couple of drivers in the very early stages of this one. Champ there's just putting a lap on his championship rival there, Richie. That's going to be a big dent in the morale of Richie. Obviously took the sprint race win earlier this evening, but a bit of damage on that car, presumably hindering his progress a little bit. You can see he's twitchy a little bit there, coming through the Curva Grande. So, not the night that Richie would have hoped for, especially after the sprint race, where he probably would have seen that as a bit of a shining light there. But Champ's turned the tables here in this second race, and the gap between the two of them will be exactly as it was at the start of the night, seeing as Champ took a 6th in the first race and is going to take a win in the feature as it stands anyway. Yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting the fastest lap point. Yeah, sorry, no, I completely disregarded the fastest lap point. So without the fastest lap point, actually, I don't know, to be fair, because I think Richie got the fastest lap in the first race. Didn't see, actually, I didn't check. But you know, I have a bit of a hunch that Champ's going to take the fastest lap in this one. Don't know why, just a gut feeling, that one. But obviously we don't know what's going to happen until we get to the end. Don't want to put the curse on anybody, don't want to talk about it like it's done when it isn't. Champ's got this win in the bag. He's already won. He's basically already won. Like, it's over. He's won the race. That's it. It's done. Sebas in the pits from P2. That just leaves Champ. Yeah, just leaves Champ as the only driver to come in, but Sebas there picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so that could give Simon Turner an opportunity here to take P2 in the race. Sebas, in fact, you know what, he might get it on the track even. He's got a lot of speed coming down the start-finish straight. They're going to be pretty close, you know. Here comes Simon Turner down towards the braking zone. Simon Turner does get the jump here on Sebas, but Sebas is holding it on the inside. Oh, side by side, and Simon Turner goes straight over the chicane there. I think he was forced off the track, but he's being told to give the position back to Sebas. But the crucial thing now is that Sebas, with that 10-second penalty, could potentially be at risk of losing a podium spot to Stage GT, who's only 10 seconds behind these two. And if Simon pushes him and starts to hassle him for that second place, that's going to slow both of them down and give Stage GT the opportunity to close in. Because Simon's not going to want to lie down here. He's going to want to get this position on the track. He's not just going to want to get it in terms of on the penalties. He's going to want to go for that position and have a good fight for this one. So that could potentially bring Stage GT into the mix. Stage has pulled out a bit of a gap to Nicky over the last few laps. 5 seconds currently separating those two, but Nicky doing his personal best first sector there. 10th quicker than he's gone at any point throughout the course of this race. Sebas has still got Simon Turner just about arm's length at the moment as these two come in through Ascari. Champ, though, still your leader, with a pit stop still to go in this one. Once he makes that pit stop, he'll probably have about a 20-second lead in the race. So he's pretty much in clean air. He's more or less got this under control, but anything can happen, we know that. If you watched the race at Suzuka, the sprint race a couple of weeks ago, you'd have seen Champ pretty much had it all but signed and sealed. Ended up getting taken out by a back marker and actually retired from the race with terminal damage. So it just goes to show, you never know what might happen. You think you're in the clear, you think you've got it all done, and all of a sudden, bam, have that. So you just never know what's around the corner. You know, you could be enjoying life, and then one moment it's just nope, not anymore, not anymore. But At the moment, Champ's looking like he's doing quite a good job at the moment, and very much got this one in the bag for the time being. Sebasto's got Simon pretty close behind him. Bite-sized DJs, we can hear him on the radio there. He's not happy about something. What's happened? Oh, he's lost his rear wing coming out of the Stella Roja chicane. Did you lose those on the speed bumps?
No, I got hit.
Oh no, bit of a...
When you're getting lapped, you gotta get out of the way.
Yeah, Bite-sized DJ just getting caught up there as he was trying to move out of the way, but didn't get out of the way in time, and either Sebas or Simon, I think, just tagging him in the back there. I believe it's Sebas. Sebas seems to have got away pretty lightly without too much damage there, but Bite-sized DJ's going to have to limp round to the pits and get that fixed. Oh, I think he's lost it in the background there. Just saw in a very distance there, just faded in the distance. You just saw him losing the car out of Ascari, but hopefully he can get it around to the pits and get that sorted out. In the meantime, Sebas holding on for that P2 just ahead of Simon. These two having a great little battle. Simon was 0.6 quicker on that previous lap, although having said that, I don't think he was. I think Sebas must have picked up another penalty, because I don't think that Simon was 0.6 quicker on that last lap.
He's still got his 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, maybe he was. I thought Simon was actually closer to him on the previous lap than he was, because to me it looked like he dropped back rather than gained. But hey ho, he must have been a bit further back at the start of the previous lap. But currently not much between these two, just under a second separating them. Oh no, Simon! Oh, he's lost it! Simon bins it out of the Stella Roja chicane, resets onto the track. Does he have damage on the front of that car? It looks to have a reasonably true trajectory. Doesn't seem to be... we'll see once we come out onto this straight for sure. We'll be able to see exactly what the situation is with that car. Let's ride on board and have a look at the steering inputs. Is he having to hold it? Is he having to hold it to the side? Yeah, he is. He's having to hold it slightly to the right to keep the car on a straight trajectory there. So Simon Turner's dropped out of that battle possibly. That's going to give Sebas the impetus there in that battle for second place, as these guys have now got 3 laps left in this race. Stage GT will be coming up on the scene, and we'll be tasting the possibility of another podium here. Nicky within 3 seconds of Stage GT is only now 12 seconds behind Simon, and Simon with a very wounded car. Stage GT and Nicky could be battling for the podiums. Nicky could be sensing a podium here in this one. What a result it would be for Nicky after what was not the best of starts to the race for him, but nonetheless, what a result it would be. Could definitely sense that on the horizon now. What a job it would be for him to get into the top 3 tonight. Sebas though still running in P2, has already got that 10-second gap now back to Simon, so Sebas very much in the box seat for that P2. Champ still going out front, needs to come into the pits, and here he comes. Champ pulls the trigger here, and lap 12, 2 to go. Penultimate lap he's about to go on to now, as we just see the lapped car there of Richie going down the start finish straight, unlapping himself on his championship rival there. And Richie in P6 as it stands. 1.4 second pit stop for Champ. Not the best I've seen a 0.7 here and there, but no, nonetheless it's pretty close to perfection there, as off and away he goes once again. And Sebas is actually a lot more further behind than I thought he was. I reckon that gap's about 30 seconds. I know in a GT3 car the final sector is about 30 seconds, so in these LMP2s it's probably about 26 or 27. Oh no, bite-sized DJ's engine's blown, I think, has it? No, he's got to go. He's got to go. Oh, it's just stalled. No, sorry, it hasn't blown, it's just stalled. He's off on his way again, just heard a team radio there, thought it had gone for a second there. He's on course for some good points tonight, is bite-sized DJ. Champ still leading by almost 30 seconds. Yep. But at the moment, looking very much like Champ has got this in the bag. It's Bite-Size DJ's out of the race. Oh, what a shame there. He's retired the car with just 2 laps left to go. Had only about 4 miles left to go, but he's out of this one, so that's the 3rd retirement of this feature race. 5th retirement altogether throughout the course of the evening. Started the night with 14 drivers, we've ended it with 9. Lost Beamasher and the Mutsnuts in the first race. We lost Grandad Stee obviously early on in the race, along with Bite-Size DJ just a few moments ago. And obviously Smoky Devil. Oh no, Smoky Devil's still here, sorry. JM Grill even. JM Grill was the one we lost in the minute at the start of the feature race. But Champ is on his final lap of the race, coming through the Curva Grande. Sebas has got enough of a gap back to Simon now, but Simon seems to have picked himself up a little bit after that contact with the wall coming out of the second chicane. What's happened here to Champ? What has happened there?
I've been taken out for the second chicane. I don't know what's happened, and all I know is I don't have a rear
What has happened? Champ has now got no rear wing. He's got to limp round for the final lap. I don't know what's happened there, but something has gone on there. I don't know what has happened, but Champ is limping round this final lap. He's got 20 seconds in hand, so he'll get the win as long as nothing else happens here. Champ didn't seem too impressed with that. I'm sure Xmart wouldn't have done that intentionally. He's not that kind of a driver. Xmart would never do something like that on purpose, but bit of collision, bit of contact there on this final lap of the race, as Xmart is now giving pursuit to Champ coming down towards the Parabolica, but Champ's going to win this one as he comes in towards the final corner. Xmart keeping that slipstream there. Sebas running in P2 in this race, and it'll be a good result for Sebas here. Not a bad showing in this feature race. Champ though coming out of the Parabolica for the final time. He's going to maintain the championship gap that he had to Richie. I think it's going to be the same as it was coming into tonight. Richie closed the gap in the sprint race. Champ takes the win in the feature. Good drive there from Champ. Not too impressed with the final lap antics there. He definitely sounded like he was a bit put out on the radio there, but he takes the win nonetheless. Survives that little scare. Sebas up towards the line. It's going to be a P2 for Sebas. A flash of the lights. What a great job from this man here. Podium finish in the feature race. Can't knock him for that as he bins it over the line into the wall, and he's just, he might be closest to whether or not he holds on here. Simon Turner's out running the final corner. Simon is going to lose out on P3 here to Stage GT anyway, as he's got that penalty. Flash the lights there from Stage GT. Simon just holds on for P3 on the track, but will lose it on the penalties. Oh no, he doesn't, sorry. No, sorry. Simon didn't have the penalty, it was Sebas. Simon holds on for P3. I do apologise there, I'm talking absolute waffle there. I'm so sorry. So Simon there holds on for P3, stage P4. Nicky comes over to take a 5th place in the end. That'll be some good points for Nicky. I'm sure he won't be too put out by that with the race that he had there. Was a bit of a hectic one. Richie comes over to take a P6. Xmart there, 7th place after the first lap carnage. This man cannot seem to catch a break in his LMP2s this season. He seems to be getting caught up in everybody else's woes there at the start of the race. What is he going to do to get a podium here?
What am I going to do? I want to apologise to Champ last time.
Xmart apologising there to Champ about that little contact there. Didn't cost him the win in the end, but as I say, I knew that wasn't. Champ says Xmart scared the living daylights out of him on that last lap. But Xmart P7, CMC 8, Smoky Devil 9. Cheers guys to everybody finish the race. And thank you everybody for watching this. Obviously drivers watching this back, hopefully I did you justice in terms of the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this back. Anybody was watching this live, drop a like on the video. 8 of you watching right now. I think that's the drivers dropping in at the end, but yeah, drop a like on the video guys. Share it with your friends and family if you want them to see what you've got up to on this Saturday night, and we will see you in the next one.